Greetings, everyone. Happy Wednesday. How y'all doing today? I am the Moon Mama, and welcome to our Master Nodal class. I actually feel really good right now. It's just a moment, but I'm going to take it of like, oh my gosh, I'm having a moment of feeling really good, and today's a Mercury day. We are in some of the most gnarly astrology that there is, and the level of intensity that's happening on the planet right now is it's mind-blowing, right? Like, there is an enormous amount of change happening. There are protests all over the country. I'm not of the country, over the world. Like, the world is on fire. It is literally on fire, and I'm so excited. I'm just so excited because why am I excited? I'm excited because I know the world is changing, and that gives me an opportunity to show up in a way that actually is in alignment with who I really am. And the work that I have been doing in my life up till now to shift my mindset, my ways of being, my behaviors is kind of culminating in this feeling that I have inside of me of like, you did that shit. And it's an interesting thing because my work has been to follow the energy, to really read the signs and the symbols and follow the energy. And I do my best to explain it here because it helps me to talk about it, but I don't know that I really do it justice, honestly. So I want to try again today to see if I can explain it in a new way. When a baby is born, you all, that baby has been inside of a sack that's filled with water in its mother's womb. It never actually touches its mother while it's in the womb because it's in a sack that's enclosed. The sack grows with the baby, and it never touches its mother's insides. Possibly maybe a little bit once the sac breaks and it pushes through the vaginal canal. Maybe it touches its mother's vaginal canal in that way. But sometimes babies are born in their sacs. But I'm telling you this about the sac because I want you all to know is that even as human beings, we are still moving with an invisible sac around us. Each person has an invisible sac around them. That is your own code, your own reality, your own experience. And it is separate from everyone else's. This has always been the case, but because we've lived in a world of patriarchy where we've been so externally focused in the Kali Yuga, which is the name of the age that we have been in. It's called Kali Yuga. And that age is beginning to end now. Because we have been in the Kali Yuga, we've all still been in our own individual energies, but because we've all been living by these collective experiences like Christianity or identities like I'm a black person, I'm a white person, all of those sort of collective, those sweeping identity overrode our individuality, the sack that you're in, because you are in a sack. You are in a sack with your energy and your code, but because we have been aligned to collective agreements, the collective agreements have overrode our individuality. But now we're coming into a time where the collective agreement is no longer going to override your individuality. So it's important for you to know what your individuality is, how you're meant to function, who you are meant to be, how what's your title in this story. And today is a Mercury day, and Mercury is currently in Libra. Mercury in Libra is many perspectives is what Mercury in Libra is. Mercury is our mind, how we think. It's the story we tell ourselves about anything, right? So here I am in this car right now. I can be like, oh, I'm comfortable. That's the story I'm telling myself. I'm telling myself I'm comfortable, so I'm comfortable. I could be in this car and be like, oh, it's dangerous. There's no driver. What if something happens and then that will happen? Because that is the power of Mercury. Whatever you're telling yourself is what your experience will culminate into, depending on how much energy you put into what you're telling yourself. So, like I grew up believing that because my mother was light-skinned and I was not light-skinned, I told myself that I wasn't pretty because I didn't have light skin, because I believed that light skin was pretty and brown skin was not. So everything is what you tell yourself. I'm just giving you guys examples so you understand that whatever you tell yourself about something, the universe is like, okay, have it your way. Whatever you tell yourself about something, anything, a person, food, the universe is like, then this is your experience. Whatever you tell yourself becomes what you experience. And so, with Mercury in Libra, Libra is the world of appearance, you all. Libra is everything we see with our eyes. Everything. And it is, Libra is ruled by Venus. And so this world that we're in is a world that really is based upon our senses. It's based upon your sense experience, how you taste the world, how you see the world, how you feel the world, that's all sensory stuff. And that is also programmed by what you're telling yourself. It's all programmed by what you're telling yourself. Many of us have been telling ourselves things that are based upon collective agreement. This is good. Oh, if I have this kind of money, that's good. If I don't have that kind of money, that's bad. Because whatever we're telling ourselves is going to become our experience. All these collective agreements become experiences and ways of being that influence us because we live in a mental reality. Am I making sense? I hear y'all being like, hey, mama, hey, how y'all doing? But I really want you guys to get that the mind, the thing that we tell ourselves about reality becomes the thing we're experiencing. And for me, it used to, one time I was dating this guy, and I can say that based upon my own self-esteem, I had a deep feeling that he was going to leave me for someone. But it was based upon my self-esteem. It was how I felt about myself. I didn't feel deserving of someone being really devoted to me. So I just thought about him. It would just pop into my mind like, oh, he's going to leave me one day. And one day, finally, I was thinking about it a lot, and he came to me and he said, I met somebody. And I was like, oh my God. It's like I literally thought it into existence. He met somebody because I kept thinking about him meeting somebody. I created the reality. And we stopped seeing each other. He continued to see this person. And then at some point later, we came back and started seeing one another again. And he told me that the person he had met had a fear of spiders, was completely dependent upon him for everything. They couldn't go anywhere because she was afraid of all these things. It was just and I was so clear that I had generated that experience because that is what was going on inside of me. And I just want us to understand that our thoughts have so much power over our reality. And with Mercury in Libra, this is a time that you want to become very aware of your mind and begin to think what you desire to have happen and not what you don't desire to have happen. And think it and feel it until it occurs. So when we start thinking what we desire to have happen, initially you will experience the opposite of that. Do not be distracted by the opposite. Continue to know that I am holding for what it is that I desire. And write it down, say it, speak it to yourself, talk about it to other people. But that is how this reality works. especially with Mercury in Libra. This is a fast acting capacity to be able to speak reality into existence. I'm so happy. I feel so good. One of the things that I have been working on is clearing up things that are blocking me. I clear all the blocks. I've carried a lot of shame around my sexual sensual nature. I've carried a lot of frustration and disappointment and embarrassment around having a mother who was a prostitute. So all of those beliefs that I carried about my mother and believed about her behavior, those things out, because they run interference with my creations. They run interference with my creations. Because we are always creating no matter what. Creation is always happening. You cannot stop it. What you're doing is you're aligning your energy to it so that you can create consciously. Creation is a constant state of being here. It just like you're thinking, you're feeling, it is all creating. And what you want to do is be responsible for how that energy lands in your system so that you are creating intentionally and not unconsciously. All right, you all. The Libra workbook is ready. You can pick it up at my website at healwithmoonmama.com. I want to encourage you guys also to join my email list, because my email list is where I give all the information for what's coming up next, and I don't often say it here. So you can go into my link tree here in my profile and join my email list, sign up for my email list, and also get the Libra workbook. Or you can get the Libra workbook at my website, which is healwithmoonmama.com. This Libra workbook is designed to assist us in harnessing the codes that the sun is activating while it's in Libra for the next 30 days. This is really powerful work. Libra is about our relationships. It's how we relate to the other. And how you relate to the other is founded upon how you relate to yourself. So if your relationships don't work, if you feel taken advantage of, if you feel unseen, if you feel, that is a reflection of your relationship with yourself. Sometimes we are wanting others to do for us what only we can do for ourselves. And I know for me, I spent a lot of time in my life thinking I wanted to be loved and really feeling like I needed that to come from somebody else. And then I would get in relationships and experience the fact that I wasn't loving myself in the relationship. Like I would want them to love me in a way that I wasn't loving and accepting myself. And it's not possible. It doesn't work. Why? Because the universe can only give to you where you are with yourself. It is a reflection. It is all a reflection. So all the people in your life, all the experiences are reflections of how you are with yourself. So this Libra workbook is to help us begin to see. You have to see it. You got to perceive it. Oh, this is going on. Well, why is that happening? Like, so, you know, a few months back, I had an experience with somebody that I was in like a romantic exchange with. And I noticed that I will interact in romantic exchanges because I'm a Virgo, I'm very self-sufficient. I really don't need people to do, I can get all the shit done on my own. So oftentimes when people are in my life, I don't rely on them. I don't ask for what it is I'm really wanting, because I know that I can do it better myself. But what that does is that gives people permission to be in my life without them having to pour into me. If I'm pouring into them, just by a person being in my company, they're going to be blessed. It's just how my energy works. I'm just an overflow of bounty. And so when people are with me, their lives are going to be changed. And if I don't have any requirement for them to be with me, then they become arrogant. It's a very interesting thing. It's like they think it's a thing that I've created, right? And so I've had to learn to honor myself and ask for things. And so in this experience, I was making requests of this person. Can you do this? And can you do this? And I was clear to myself that I was making requests, and if I was going to interact with them romantically or sexually, I would only do it when they would fulfill my request. It was like, if they weren't fulfilling my request, I would not. Even if I wanted to have sex with them, I wouldn't do it, because it's almost like they had to work for it. And at some point, they got really frustrated by it, because I had typically just given myself over for free. So at some point they got really frustrated and like went off on me, like, you this and you that and you this. And what I did was I asked myself, how did I create that? What was that reflecting back to me? It was reflecting back to me all the resistance that I have in asking for support or help or holding people accountable to their connection to me. He was reflecting the resistance that I have to being seen, to having needs, to allowing people to come in and do things for me. Like, you know, I can shrink myself so small because I don't want to be a burden. And my spirit is like, take up space. Take up space. Like, you know, get what's yours. Get your flowers. And so that was the experience. So with that, this is what the Libra workbook is about. I see that somebody just purchased the Virgo workbook. The Virgo season is over with, and the Virgo workbook is great. It's something that you can hold on to for next year, or you can, you know, read, you know, still do the work. But the Libra season workbook is different, and so that is called Refining Love in a World Filled with Noise. Refining Love in a World Filled with Noise. And you can get it at my website, healwithmoonmama.com, or here in my link tree. All right, y'all. Peace and blessings. I love you so very much.